Hi, I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today where we are going to talk about books. And specifically, we are talking about my second book for the month of November, The Perfect Place to Die by Bryce Moore. And it's young adult historical fiction with a bit of a mystery. And I have seen it referred to as horror, but it's really less horror than it is suspenseful. Zaretta and her sister Ruby live with their parents in Utah. Ruby has had enough of their father's abusive behavior and their mother's inability to do anything about it. She decides to run away and create a new life in Chicago, and she encourages Zaretta to move with her. The World's Fair is in full swing, and Ruby is convinced that they would be able to get jobs. But Zaretta does not want to leave their mother alone, and so she stays behind. She lives for the letters that Ruby sends her about her life in Chicago. She has found a job as a maid at a hotel. She has fallen in love, and very quickly she is engaged to be married. Then, abruptly, Ruby's letters stop, and Zaretta has recurring nightmares about Ruby, which leads her to go to Chicago and find Ruby. Etta, as she is known in Chicago, finds the hotel that Ruby was a maid at, and she gets a job there also. It's a strange place where hallways intersect at weird angles, and the building leaves Etta feeling oppressed and hopeless. The maids from different floors aren't allowed to interact with one another, and they cannot go on the other floors. And the maids who work on the family level must live in the hotel. Worst of all, Etta's nightmares have worsened. The question now isn't whether Etta will find Ruby, but rather whether Etta will survive the experience. What are some other books to read if you like this book, or vice versa? These are all books that involve a mystery that needs to be solved. Two of them are historical fiction, and one is contemporary. We'll start with a book that takes place in the same hotel in Chicago during the same World's Fair, the Columbia Exposition, Capturing the Devil by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the fourth of the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. Audrey and Thomas travel from London to America, where they visit a relative. They soon find that Chicago has secrets too. In fact, they learn that there are cases of missing persons associated with the Columbia Exposition. As they investigate, they find themselves facing a serial murderer unlike any they've ever heard of. Identifying him is one thing. Capturing him is an entirely different thing. A Spy in the House by Y.S. Lee, which is the first book in the Agency series. Mary, an orphan, is sentenced as a thief in London and given the opportunity to attend Miss Scrimshaw's Academy for girls, where Mary will learn fine manners and becomes part of a group of top-secret women investigators. In the midst of a heat wave that is paralyzing London, Mary must pose as a lady's companion to infiltrate a rich merchant's home in the hopes of tracing his missing cargo ships. But all is not as it seems. The house holds dangerous secrets, and people are not what they seem. Set in Victorian London, A Spy in the House is packed with action and suspense. Tell Me My Name by Amy Reed is a contemporary mystery thriller. Fern is waiting for what she needs from life: summer, college, and for her friend that she loves to realize that he loves her. Then Ivy arrives on the island, and Fern feels seen and understood. She has purpose. Fern sees the side of Ivy that no one else does. She sees Ivy's pain and realizes that she can help Ivy get what she wants. But Fern's life unravels. Drought and fire, and a reckless night that becomes out of control. All that Fern thought that she knew, her life, her home, her unrequited love, and Ivy, twist into something new, and Fern will emerge as a different person. And there we are. I hope that you enjoyed our look at The Perfect Place to Die by Bryce Moore and other YA suspense mystery thriller books. If you're interested in any of them, I hope that you give them a try, and I know a library where you can get them at. We'll be back later in the week when we will explore, and again next week to take a look at the book Soulswift by Megan Bannen. Until then, I hope that you enjoy whatever you read, and thank you.